Let me tell you one story about something I learned. Let me tell you one story about something I learned. Yo.
Gonna hit you hard with the fast and the fury. Make your mouth drop like Jordan and Julie. Stepping on the court, dog, arm dangerous. Get in the score like Bobby De Niro. Don't approach us like no Gondoliero. Leave you looking like Eddie Norton. Straw in your word like Margaret Marchand. Wanna know why? The God sent we. Call your belly full and your mind empty. All sound alike on BET. How many naked girls do you see? Like Miss Awalad, we can't believe me eyes. Won't stop rocking till the boat capsize. In the holy water, washing off your disguise. Always go back to your dirty big style. Damn big, you left them hypnotized.
Soldiers dance in the middle of the night, smoking trees and chilling with wife. Fridge got food and the kids shirt tight. I got a big dog and he walks at night. Soldiers dance in the middle of the night, smoking trees and chilling with wife. Fridge got food and the kids shirt tight. I got a big dog and he walks at night.
Welcome back to another edition of the B4evaKool podcast. My name is Rexyfortyfive.
My name is TJ. 2 J's and coffee.
How's it going, man?
Feeling good.
Yeah.
Good. Everything's going good.
That's what's up. It's it's been a little bit. A lot's happened. A lot of racing has happened.
Oh, yeah, we're trying to keep up. With we talk about racing, but we gotta get out there too. So it takes us some time.
Exactly. We just don't talk about it. We do.
Trying to be about it too.
Exactly. Like you know what it is. For sure, man. So I don't even know where to stop because we got Moto America, we got MotoGP, we got the Classic. I guess let's start with the US. So let's start with the Classic. Let's talk about our racing, and then we'll go down and go over to MotoGP at the end of this thing because there's a lot to cover.
Well, the start of the Classic, it was the anticipation was very high for everybody, I'm sure, especially like getting there. Everyone wanted their spot, but I feel like once everyone got there, that kind of went away. Everyone felt comfortable. And I felt like the start of it was a great time. It was nice and dry for us.
Right.
We raced on Friday, so nice and dry on Friday. And the day before, I believe it was as well.
Yeah, Thursday was dry. A little bit of rain.
You got up there the day before me.
Yeah.
So, but the atmosphere was great. It was the same. A lot more people. It was just just a fun weekend. It was the Classic where they had all the tents for all of the different manufacturers where you can test ride, and they got tents for food, and just brought a lot more people around. It just felt good. But the overall weekend, the race, fortunately it was rain. I do say one thing is it was good to see them put down some fast laps in the dry. Yeah, they're qualifying.
Yeah. It was amazing to see the likes of Mesa, and who is it? Haynes. Josh Hayes, and some fast guys.
Oh yeah.
And on different manufacturers, like it was that was a part, like, so I watched a little bit from the bowl, and that's turn 6, and it was interesting to see folks on the duck, like Eric Woods, where they would upshift and versus on the inline fours,
Yeah, that would have been good to see. I unfortunately didn't see that, but that's pretty interesting. Like we talked before, when you jump on a different manufacturer, trying to get used to how that bike would ride with your riding style. So I know we're used to seeing Eric Wood, shift at a certain spot in the bowl.
Right,
so,
on his 1000.
Yeah, on his 1000 at the Kawasaki.
So that was interesting to see, and as you're saying, riding different manufacturers, I realized like Eric Wood jumped on a duck and he didn't miss a beat. Stefano Mesa, which I've only knew about like a couple of years, and he was always on Cowies. So to see him on a duck, and to drop the times that he did on a duck, it's for some riders, You know, if you look at I'll talk about myself, but you know, if you look at MotoGP and you see when they change manufacturers, it could take 1 to 2 years.
Yep.
You know, these guys are switching bikes in a round, and they're still doing times regardless of the bike they're sitting on.
And I think it finally, you know, cleared the question. It's like, I know the fast guys here or what they do. There's no way, you know, a new rider can come here and do the same thing. But we knew the pros can. But for them to put down a 110,
Yeah. Yeah.
and we're used to seeing the 12s, you know, and barely 11.
Yeah.
You know, it was just crazy.
I don't know how he doesn't have a factory seat.
Yeah.
No, seriously, I don't know how he doesn't, because, you know, I've seen him at Jersey, and, you know, like there was one race, like he had a wheelie, and he had like in traffic he held a wheelie.
You talking about Stefano?
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Held a wheelie like a couple of times. It was just like, you know, so, you know, I don't know how, you know, I don't know how someone with that much talent doesn't have a factory seat.
I had pleasure meeting him as well. I was getting my tires changed at the Pirelli tent, and he was there. So we chopped it up for, you know, about a minute, but it was cool to meet him and just to see him in person.
Yeah,
just,
for sure.
He's pretty fast, man.
Yeah, it was cool to see all these riders.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know, Richie Escalante. You know, all these riders, and you know, because you know that was cool to see at Loudon.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it was, you know, for what I remember, shout them out. It was like Richie Escalante, Tyler Scott, Teague Hobbs. That was the Suzuki team.
Yep.
He had PJ Jacobson with Ducati.
Yep.
Stefano Mesa, Josh Hayes, Max Flinders. And then we had a lot of local guys too, you know, like Eric Wood, Eli Block.
Shout out to Eli.
Shout out to Eli. He put in a very good day. He rode the 400 right before that race and won. And to come out on that big race and all those red flags, shout out to Eli. And everyone else, like, you know, Sam Greenwood, I think, was out there. Sweeney, Eric Wood.
Ian Bean.
Ian Beam.
Beam.
Yeah, there's a lot of good talent out there. That's all I'm just saying.
Yeah, there are a lot of fast riders.
Yeah.
Mike Lee.
Lee, shout out to Mike Lee. You know.
Very impressive. I mean, this is a guy, like, I mean, I think 4 years at Loudon now, maybe. You know what I mean? And you really, you know, like, there's a lot of talented riders. You know, it's beautiful to see. It was unfortunate the weather was what it was. Still, these guys came down and women and did their best job, and you know, even in the rain, it was still pretty cool to see. You know what I'm saying?
I know some of the riders were predicting for rain from the get-go, so hope they were satisfied. But you know, it was good. Like I said, it was good to see them put down some fast laps at their own will on Friday for practice.
Yeah.
But at the price of the purse was up, like, for some reason, I don't know if rain was a better option, because I feel like, I know we had 10 restarts or 9 restarts, 10 red flags, but, you know, I just think, I don't know, it could have been better with the
right.
the
Mother
track,
Nature,
but, yeah.
Mother Nature,
it slowed them down by 10 seconds. So
you know,
yeah.
You know, Mother Nature. That was the worst part about it, and you know, it's one of those things, like Die Hard. Like, my first time I went to watch a MotoGP race was 2017 in Aston, and it rained, right? It was uncomfortable. You know, it wasn't a downpour or anything like that, right? And so the experience wasn't the same as then when I went to Mugello the following year. You know what I mean? So, and for Loudon, the 100 run of the Classic, to have the biggest purse in the U.S. and for it to rain.
Yeah, you want to be perfect.
You know, and I was thinking about this later on in the week, and I'm wondering why, you know, maybe they should have moved it to a Sunday. You know what I mean? And run it on Sunday. And I don't know if there was any discussions in house with that or not. But, you know, I think it was one of those things like, you know what? Maybe we should move this to Sunday. And I would have been okay running Sunday races on Saturday in the rain for the other classes and stuff like that. And I know some people may be like, no, but, you know, I would have been okay with that, because it's like, you know, here's an opportunity for folks up in the Northeast to see some really fast people. And it would have, it would have been nicer
Sunday
in the
morning,
sun.
You know, Sunday afternoon. That would have been good. I know a lot of races got pushed around for us.
Oh, for
us to sacrifice them too. So
yeah, exactly. That's the thing. It's kind of like, I had a race on my first race 2 got pushed to Sunday, and so you know what I mean. So I wondered, if that was a thought, just to say, hey, and not for the riders, because the riders don't care. Right, the riders don't care. They're gonna race in any condition. It's more for the fans. It's more for the people that is in the grandstand and coming to watch and camping out and stuff like that. It's like, if you're not prepared for that kind of weather, you're gonna go home.
yes,
You know what I'm saying? And so really, it's just the people that are with the riders that are there versus, people who heard about it and want to come out, but they ain't diehard riders. But if the sun was out, they would have came out.
the only good thing is that it was bike week, so a lot of people were on bikes that showed up too. I don't know if you drove out during before the race, but it was a ton of bikes under the grandstand.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
So-
I parked my scooter under the grandstand.
So, but yeah, the weather definitely. I'm sure if it was dry, it would have been a much larger turnout. But
Yeah, larger turnout, and the folks that are there would have. I would have enjoyed it a little bit more. If granted, I was staying dry, but it would have been nice if it would have been nicer if But that's Mother Nature. We have no control over that, so it's not a fault of anybody. It just would have been nicer if it didn't rain.
yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I enjoyed the experience because no one's seen anything like that, especially for the moment of the 100 Classic with all these restarts and
Yeah, that was a lot of restarts.
and it wasn't like pouring rain. It was just time consuming. It was almost 3 hours for a 25 lap race that was changed to 20 due to the rain.
Right.
And the 20 laps kind of took forever. So it would have been nice to see him do like 5 laps in a row before flag.
Yeah.
It was kind of like every 2 laps, but they're all pushing hard. Can't really blame them. And they're doing 19s in the rain.
Yeah.
And, for my amateur level, that's like the pace I run in the dry. So
Right.
like it's kind of incredible to see.
No, it was definitely incredible to see, and I hope there's 101. You know what I'm saying? And I hope this thing continues because the sport needs it, and especially in the U.S. It needs we need more of these type of things to bring the level of motorcycle racing to where it once was.
Yeah.
Because it definitely took a little dip. We don't have a lot of riders in World Superbike. We don't have a lot of we don't have any. We have a couple of riders in MotoGP, in Moto2, and once upon a time there was a lot of American riders. And so and I know the sport's trying to get back there. So I think that other clubs will probably try to do something similar. Because they can, you know what I'm saying? They can see it, So, all right, that's the classic race. How was your race weekend? How was it? Getting back on the bike, round 3. Are you chasing titles or trying to get in the top 5 in certain classes?
Well, I mean, I'm not in enough races to chase any titles. I'm trying to stay in the top, of the pack, but it's kind of hard. But my races went well. I can't lie. Ran a good pace. My first, it was weird because like my first race, I think I got 4th, and then the second race got pushed to Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
In that race, I came in 2nd in my wave, but they did a wave ahead of us that they counted as my wave, so I came in 4th.
Gotcha.
And that
Overall.
overall, when I should have came in 2nd because the people who left before us wasn't in my wave, but they got first. So,
But
I didn't like argue anything about it, but it was a mix up. I know it was challenging for all the NEMAR officials switching things around,
right,
and stuff like that.
So yeah,
I was more happy with my pace if all anything else. So.
I was surprised to see them do that. Because like CCS and ASRA has been doing that from this year, and they've reverted back to keeping like amateurs and experts separate and stuff like that. and keeping all that separate. So you should have been fourth overall, but second in your class.
Yes, because
you know what I'm saying?
it was like Formula 40. I don't know. I'm not sure who was running ahead of us, but I think it was Formula 40, and that was like the heavyweight super sport.
Yeah.
We were all usually third wave,
Right.
but they ran second wave for some reason, and we ran third wave.
Right.
And
Yeah,
so
but
no way
that-
we was catching them.
Yeah, but that shouldn't matter because it's two different races.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? You got Formula
guess so.
40 and you got your Super Sport on the track at the same time, but it's two different races. So there should be 6 trophies. You know what I mean? Not 3.
But it's all right.
So
Like I said, that could count towards points and stuff like that. But I was more satisfied with how I was running. I know I had some goals with my body position and stuff like that. And one of the races I ran, I didn't even know the times I was doing. Friend Josh came up to me. He was like, "Guess what you ran?" I was like, "I felt like I did 20." It was like 3 18s in a row. So
Nice.
So that was like a new accomplishment for me.
Right.
I've touched the 18 maybe once or twice.
Nice.
I
Well,
haven't
listen.
faced in that, but to have 3 laps in a row, it's a good accomplishment for me for now. So
And it's nice when you're chasing somebody because then you don't notice.
yeah, you don't notice, and it's crazy when you're trying to put in the laps. It's never the time. It's when you just in the groove, not thinking about it. That's when everything's flowing right.
Yeah. You're absolutely right. This week, that weekend was my first weekend out on the R6 this year.
How about yourself? I know
You've
been on the 400 all year.
I will
Break
say
the cobwebs out of the 600.
I didn't get them out the way I would have liked, due to the fact that I had one race on Friday and that got pushed back to Sunday, and I didn't get a chance to race. I only got a couple of laps in on.
And you had a new suit on too. So
Yeah.
like you was a little stiff.
Yeah,
Well, I'm not saying you were stiff, but like, I know like
breaking a new suit is
and
nice but not fun.
Not being on an R6 as well, so it's a lot of like.
So I didn't get as much riding as I would have liked to have gotten in, and plus it was Father's Day, and I had plans on Sunday, so I didn't get to race on Sunday. But it's interesting because I've been racing at Loudon since 2013. And, stepping away the last couple of years, I think I was injured in 2019 and 2018 I was injured and I really didn't race as much in 2019 in getting better and stuff like that. And then with the pandemic, I started racing CCS and ASRA up and down the East Coast. And so and this year, this was my first round at Loudon. And jumping on a bike, and it's almost one of those things where the previous muscle memories I had of braking and gassing and turning and stuff like that, I think out of habit I was hindering myself as far as my times because I was just kind of doing my same pace, and so having that time away, I all of a sudden I'm braking later than I would in turn 1, in turn 3. I was comfortable in the bowl. Really, it was only turn 10, and the new surface at 11, and
There's a lot of new things out there too. Like you said,
exactly. You know what I mean. So I think which generally I was comfortable in those areas, but the areas I wasn't comfortable was turn 1, turn 3, right, and the bowl, and those areas was just okay. So it's one of those things I'm looking forward to the next round, and seeing, what happens because, I won't have the same time constraints.
Yeah. So, you missed the first 2 rounds. So round 3 you attended inside of 7. So you're halfway there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know you jumping on the R6 going down the straight, and I'm still new to this, but you got to calibrate your eyes and everything. So I know when I went to Poconos, it was the straight that we went down, and going into the first corner, it wasn't hard braking. So you can kind of relax a little bit,
right?
If he wasn't pushing,
yeah.
We're pushing here, and it's hard braking in turn 1. So you got to line it up pretty. You have to line it up right.
Yeah, you do.
It could be off a little bit. Especially in other corners too, especially with the new service in 10, 12.
Yeah, but that's the crazy part. Like I said, turn, I was it was just I was so it was crazy because like I think I had just had bad rotors because I used to get a lot of vibration, and I didn't change my rotors until the race until Daytona last year. I was like, all right, I'm like, there has to be something going on because I shouldn't be feeling this. And I didn't, and Daytona doesn't have a lot of hard braking. You know what I mean? But I was like, oh, okay. But then I didn't ride the bike again until this past weekend. So it was one of those things like, it's like I can brake later. And I know, and it's crazy. It's like, I know I could even brake later.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good feeling though. When you're like,
I'm like, yeah, because I had a lot of vibration on the front end, and in turn 1 and turn 3, I that was the thing. It was like, and then go. But now it's like that's not there. So it's like all of a sudden, like which like other bikes, I didn't have that issue.
Yeah,
so
you had to brake early so it could settle.
Yeah. So
now you don't have it, so you can brake later, but you still gotta calibrate yourself to where to brake.
Yeah, you do. You do.
You're like,
but
now I can brake later.
You do, but I think the fact. So like I said, I racing at Loudon 2013 to 2019 is the only track I raced at. But in the last several years, I've raced at not a lot, but like 7 tracks, and in the past three years. So it's like now my perspective at Loudon is different. You know what I mean? Than when I was only racing there, because now I have other references. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I have others like, these situations. Oh, this is what I did. So that's why it's like, next round. I'm looking forward to next round. I have a lot going on, but if I get there, I think like next round, I'll have some good times next round.
I'm actually looking forward to next round as well. I know that unexpectedly, when the races I've had, I've made some, I've been more comfortable passing people going a faster pace.
Yeah.
Like going around corners.
Yeah.
Usually I'll hold up and try to like make sure I don't clip them or follow their line. I realize that'll slow my pace. And I always see like the experts, they don't care.
No.
They just go right around you.
Yeah.
And keep on going.
That's what that's what you have to do.
So I know that weekend, a couple of races, I've gone around a couple of riders in the turn 1 and in the bowl, and those are places I've never thought I would get to that point, and for doing that, it feels good. So I'm getting a little more confident in passing riders when the traffic comes, because that's when it matters. When you're riding comfortable and you're getting your pace up, and then finally you see 4 bikes coming ahead of you and you're hitting the straight and they're all going to brake before you. You're like, what the hell?
Right.
I don't know what to do. So.
And that was the thing too, because I started in the back, I was hoping for a restart when we got the red flag, because I was just like, there was so many riders. I was like, oh, I'm passing them next time. Like, cause I hadn't been there, and I was just like, all right, there's some quick guys as amateurs and stuff like that. So like, I wasn't sure. So, but it was just kind of like, yeah, I was looking to pass people on the straight, but you're right. Just like, you gotta do it in the right way, and you gotta get your tire in front of them before the apex, right?
So be committed.
You know what I'm saying? But I think that's the thing. It's like, because you can spend a whole lap behind somebody and only get one corner to pass them, and if you wait that, and if you do that for 2 laps, then the people out front are gone.
They're gone.
So that's the same thing. I realized. I was just like, oh, yeah, I don't do that again. Don't just. You see the openings and just go and let them pass you. If they're fast, they'll pass you, I'm not gonna get in front of them, right?
So that's what I definitely feel like I'm improving on, which is a good thing, because you do hit a lot of traffic when you're on the track.
Yeah.
It's hard to avoid it on a track day, and in racing, unless it's one wave, but it's usually
right. And I think that's the hardest part. As you start to get better. Passing, like that's the hardest part in passing, right? Because I've had people pass me in some bad like that. No, you shouldn't have done that. You know what I mean, and stuff like that. But the timing, changing your line, that's the that's the hardest part, and we're all out there trying to get better. And so I don't know how, because I'm always pissed that somebody passed me and it's jacked up. You know what I'm saying? And it's just kind of like, you know what I mean? Like that transition, I guess over time just gets better for each rider. You know what I mean? Because you're going to have to pass when you can pass. You know what I mean? When you're passing someone, and it's clean, it's a wonderful thing. When you're passing someone and it's not clean, it's like, So, but yeah, no, you have to, as you see in MotoGP and these guys, there's an opening, you go for it. You don't, that's it, because
they take it right away. And it's like, you don't even think they're going to take it. They're like, oh, they're going to get in the next couple corners. No. They take it right away.
If it's there, they're taking it.
You got to be so committed. And it's hard to be committed too when you're going a fast pace, and
right. But
you want to be safe yourself and safety for others. Like once that runs through your mind, I mean, obviously you're trying to be safe, but once that runs through your mind, it's kind of too late. So
right. I mean, but that's where practice comes in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's where practice comes in, and so those guys, they practice often, and I'll say this to riders out there: if you're doing those passes, it's like you just the classic is paying you. There's some races that's paying you. There's a lot of races that are not paying you. And so, to cause somebody to crash or to cause somebody or to take somebody out or whatever the case may be, I don't know if that pass is worth it. You know what I'm saying? Because what the race caused and the damage of somebody's bike and suit and all that versus the plastic you get or may not get or the position you get, I'm not going to pass somebody unless I know I can do it in a way that's not going to take them down.
You know what's crazy? Everything you said is here, and then you put a line, and then under it is just adrenaline.
Yeah.
You kind of forget all that sometimes. You just got to go.
No, I don't.
I mean, you don't forget about injuring somebody or safety like dramatically in that matter, but and I'm not. Just listen. I was racing street cars for a long time, and I've done a lot of dumb things in my life. You know what I'm saying? But I felt I've done things where I haven't caught. I don't do them anymore. So I guess I don't need to knock on wood because I go to the racetrack now. But that was the one thing. I never wanted to hurt someone else. I never wanted to cause someone else harm. So whatever it was, I'd rather take the L. Yeah, that's how I feel like I ride too.
Yeah.
And being a little more aggressive, but like I would take the L.
Yeah, I'd rather take the L. I
got caught behind a lot of riders actually in the race, like going in the bowl.
And to go to Moto 2, right? With Dixon. Shout out Dixon. But
we got third place, right?
No, he got first place.
First place.
Right? But he got in front of Ayagura. He cut like there should have been some type of penalty there. Cuz it's like he literally, he purposely got in front of him. You know what I'm saying? And so, but I get it because that's the world stage, right? I'm not on the world stage, and so it's one of those things where it's just kind of like, I'm not gonna be like, oh, let's just see what happens.
Yes,
if I can either do it or I can't do it, and I know that already. So if I'm doing it, I know I can do it. But there's some riders out there that definitely put others in harm's way, and the price it's not worth it to me. But that's just me.
I mean, we know we kind of switched to MotoGP, but the Athens race last year, if we all remember, I don't know if you remember the last lap in the last corner, the chicane. Alicia Spargo came through there.
Oh,
like a bullet, bumped out
Miller
and Brad Binder.
Yeah, was it? Yeah,
it was a clean pass, but Miller got the brunt of it.
Yep.
Got bumped out off the line.
Yep.
Luckily, it didn't cause any harm, but it's one of those when you don't see it coming. You just be like, what the?
That's the part, and I know it's part of racing. And when you're on the winning side, it's gravy. But I can always, I'm only speaking for myself. I just want to be a clean. I just want to be a clean rider. If I'm driving, clean driving, and that's it. Because, like I said, at the end of the day, I'd rather. Look, if I did something effed up to win that race, I know I did something effed up to win that race. So, like, that's a hard one to swallow for me. You know what I'm saying? I want to beat you straight up. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to beat you with trickery. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. I get you blocking and do. I get all that. That I get all that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna do something to cause someone to crash. You know what I'm saying? And that's to me that's how I when I was in cars and doing it. That's how I did it. And I ain't bragging, but
it's the best.
I ain't take too many L's.
It's the best badge of honor and respect when you win straight up.
No, seriously. So. Like in any sport, like I want to beat you straight up. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to beat you with no. I'm gonna be like, if I can't beat you straight up, then you're the better person, and it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But if people who can live with themselves doing that, that's them.
I love how the MotoGP riders or any rider that races, when they're practicing and someone runs offline a little bit and they go by them, they like throw their hand up like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
But they also do the same thing. Like, dive bomb somebody or run off track and
there's certain riders that don't care, right? Yeah. And it is what it is. I shouldn't say it is what it is, but there's definitely some riders that do certain things, and it's just kind of like, it's.
Well, speaking of Elish, like I know he flips out all the time in practice when someone cuts him off or he runs into traffic and then they're riding in his line.
Yeah,
and he'll like I said that last year in Athens, the way he went through the corner, it was clean, but
it's questionable. So let's dive into MotoGP a little bit more, because since we're already talking about it. But I got to shout out to Dennis Anchu for winning Moto3.
Moto3,
yeah, finally.
But I know you were talking about MotoGP.
Yeah.
But you shout out Dennis Anchu. How about that practice incident?
Which one?
When they were coming out of the pits.
With
no, this is Moto3. Anchu.
No, I didn't see it.
So I think they was coming out of the pits, and it was kind of like the Marc Marquez incident when he hit Bezzecchi, I think it was.
Zarco, no.
No. In practice, when Marc Marquez was like, "Yo, give some more gas." in the last race, it was in practice.
Oh no, I didn't see that.
So in the practice, Anchu was coming out, and two teammates, and they ran him back to each other, and coming out of the pits, and basically broke the windscreen, broke his handlebar.
Oh, no kidding!
First practice of Moto3.
Yeah. No, it's.
But yeah, shout out to Anchu for winning.
Yeah. And also for Jake Dixon, right?
Yeah.
Those guys have been trying for a long time, been on the podium, and finally got it, which is impressive. So it'd be nice to continue. I hope they continue. Especially Dennis Anchu being out in being very competitive last few, since the season, but just not getting that number one.
Yeah, all it takes is a bad start, getting caught behind somebody. It's just once the race turns on, there's no going back from like where you're standing. So important to get your mindset and get a good launch. But yeah, and then like the MotoGP practice, like we was talking about how aggressive people were riding. You gotta take the corner when it's there. In the practice, we talk about the Marc Marquez toe.
Yeah.
He was following. I think it was Bezzecchi. I'm not sure, but They both turned one wide.
It's the factory guy, Enea
Bastianini.
Yeah, it's Bastianini.
Yep.
Yeah.
He was towing Bastianini. Bastianini ran wide, and then he hit the brakes.
Yeah.
Marc Marquez ran. That was the exact same thing that happened in Moto3.
Okay.
Except for they didn't even leave the pit. They were like coming out of the pit.
Right. Yeah, no, I don't, for these guys not to be paying attention, for Marquez Mark Marquez. I don't know him like that. To just be saying Mark, but you know what I'm saying. But for him to not pay attention to where he is on the track, it tells you, right? Because it tells you where his mindset is. You know what I'm saying? Not, this is not. I was going to name some other riders in MotoGP, but I'm not going to do that because I don't want to. You know what I mean? This is Marc Marquez, 8-time world champion, and he's having a dismal season. You know what I'm saying? Like he's giving the finger to the camera. You know what I'm saying? He went to war with Andre the Giant like 1,000 times and came back battered and bruised up.
I mean, right now he's riding with a broken rib,
finger. You know what I mean? And and he doesn't look happy, right? And and
he's not even smiling for the camera when they wave when they come in the paddock.
And you know what I mean? And I'll say this, I respect Johann Zarco because he walked away from KTM when KTM was sucked, right? Did I say he's like, I don't want your money. Keep your money. I'm leaving. I'm not riding this bike. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if Marc Marquez just take that stand and say, hey, Honda, you know what I'm saying? Thank you. I'm gonna enjoy I'm gonna recover for the rest of this season, and I'm gonna find a new ride for 2024. Because when you're at that level, you're not. I don't care what sport you're in. You're not part of any rebuilding. You know what I'm saying? You're not, unless you already won some chips, and then he did win some chips, but he wants to beat Rossi, and
they're messing up his career.
He wants to beat Rossi. He wants Agostino. He wants every person at that level wants as many as they can get. So it's like, not to say he's not the type of person that can rebuild an organization and be that rider, but he wants 2 or 3 more chips.
I mean, not that he wants to leave Honda. He probably wants to do it with Honda, but they're not listening. Like when someone's complaining, you're like, all right. But when you get a lot of people complaining, then you be like, fine, let me look at it.
Yeah.
But like everything speaks for itself. Like, look how many crashes Honda's had this year. Look at Mir right now. He's not even riding. Rins is out right now with a broken leg. Marquez got a broken rib. Can't even finish.
Yeah.
Barely finished the sprint. He finished like almost 18th or something like that. Didn't ride Sunday.
Ikaluka Ono had to pull in because of mechanical.
And he participated to fill in for Joan Mir.
Yeah.
Like,
even Stefan Bravo was pissed.
Yeah. So they gotta do something. So it's not just Marc Marquez complaining.
No.
Like, Honda's having a really tough time this year. I don't know what the issue is, but
I don't know if they got too much money and they got enough money that they think they don't need to, like, okay, whatever. I don't know if they don't. I don't know what it is, but money's not a problem for Honda. They're in everything, as you see their commercials. So money's not a problem for them. I mean, Ducati's fortunate because until Audi bought them, you know what I'm saying, they didn't have the same cash flow that they got now. And that's the difference. They inject that cash. You know what I'm saying? And Honda got that cash.
Yeah, they need to.
As a youngin said, they got the bag.
I mean,
so
I guess they're not worried of losing Marc Marquez. I mean, you think Honda in those colors, you think Marc Marquez.
Yeah. So, listen. They screwed up at Rossi. Like, Rossi would have stayed with them forever. But they were just very corporate and not wanting to have fun. I shouldn't say corporate. Whatever they were, they weren't having fun. And he left and went to Yamaha. You know what I'm saying? So it is, you know what I'm saying? I mean, like, I never understood why Danny Pedrosa wasn't a test rider for Honda.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I don't know how they choose test riders.
You let that guy go, and then you see what he's doing at KTM. You know what I'm saying?
If the contract wise of being a test rider, maybe it was too much. I don't know.
Listen,
why would you let go of a test rider or someone who had your manufacturer?
And he's only raced. Yeah. He's only raced with them. And it's only bad luck with Danny why he didn't win titles. Other people took him out. Why he didn't win titles. You know what I'm saying? If not, he would have had titles. So, and so I don't know how they fix that, but I don't think Marc Marquez is going to be there in 2024. Ducati's not going to take him because Ducati's fine. They're in the top. Out of 9 riders, they're top 8. They're either in the top 10 unless they crash out.
I mean,
so
I'm seeing it in his face. Like I said, when they walk around with the camera, all the riders usually, put in their earplugs, and then they be like, "Hey, wait to the camera." They go on Marc Marquez, and he's just blank faced staring. He's not even smiling, waving. I'm like, yeah, something's wrong.
Right. And he's talking to his brother,
Yeah.
and I'm sure his brother's coming home every day like,
Ducati's got it great.
he's like, Mark, I'm telling you, it's so he's not going to be there next year. I don't think so, unless Honda can turn it around and be a competitive bike. Because right now it's Ducati, KTM, Aprilia.
Well, at this point, it's not going to be a quick turnaround. There's nothing a quick turnaround. So it's going to be a process again. But he has to see that they're trying to make the step. They are. It's not going to be like 2024 back to the front of the pack.
Yeah.
Still got to worry about what's going on with Ducati because they're still improving. But you can't keep going backwards or, not even moving forward just a little bit.
Exactly.
So.
No, I completely agree. So it's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah, that's going to be some news I can't wait to watch. There's going to be some other news that I can't wait to hear, too, about, Pedro Acosta moving up.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. Right? Because, honestly,
I'm interested because we need some more bikes in MotoGP. So KTM needs some more bikes.
Whose seat is he going to take?
I don't know. I think we talked about it before, quickly, but I hope KTM doesn't treat a rider how they usually do. Just say, hey.
Ika Luca Ono. I can't believe they did that to him.
Yeah.
They did it to, that was Aprilia did it to.
Someone else is a better rider and just, get rid of a rider who's just started trying to get their feet where, in the biggest stage too, trying to get used to everything.
Yeah. KTM has to bring Husqvarna in. And I can see Pedro getting a seat. But you can't get rid of Jack Miller because he's making you guys in the top 5.
You can't get rid of Brad Binder. Why would you?
Because Brad Binder is in the top 5
Exactly.
because of Jack Miller. So you owe Jack Miller that much. You can't get rid of him, right?
So just need 2 more bikes.
So and Polo Spargaro.
You can't just throw him to the curb. I mean, but you can't talk like that. But we've seen it.
Fernandez. Hey, he just got into MotoGP,
and they were talking about that during the race, and he's like, "I deserve this to be in MotoGP, not just be kicked to the curb."
Listen, just because you deserve it, don't mean you're gonna do it. Don't get me wrong. I respect. I love what the kid is doing, but some people, a lot of talents come into MotoGP and get slide right out.
The sad thing is, I think he's on the hot seat.
So
he'll probably get pushed out, and
think about it. Okay, so if he goes to Yamaha, or if he goes to Honda,
but KTM don't want that. That's the young superstar in the making, basically. But how are they going to protect that? I don't know. It's kind of like how is Honda going to protect Mark with their brand?
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's one of those things where. It's very tricky because you can't get rid of Bender because Bender's doing well. You can't get rid of Miller. Miller's doing well. So I hope they add another team. You know what I'm saying? Else he's going to one of the Japanese brand.
It only makes sense because we lost the team. So
yeah,
not saying they need to, but they're in a situation where it only makes sense for them. They can get a lot more data in the long run,
right?
And they're already, improving. So.
Yeah. So
to me, it makes sense, but I don't know how it takes to get.
And Gian Antonio is the only person they might get rid of. That's it. But that's it. That from because Alex Marquez is doing well with them, and Rossi's keeping his team in place. Pramac is keeping Johan and Martin in place, and
Pecco's not going nowhere.
Yeah, and Nea Bastianini.
He just signed, so he's not.
Yeah, he's just signed. They're not going to move him because he's just been injured.
Yeah.
And the kid is fast. So once he gets by the end of the season, he's going to be another person you're going to have to deal with.
We run out of bikes and manufacturers now.
Exactly. So it's like to make that demand and to say, hey, KTM, You know what I'm saying? KTM's going like what's like
They're probably not even ready.
Pol Espargaro or Fernandez, and I can see them getting rid of Pole, but that would suck if they got rid of him because he was just injured.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But that's not that's the only person they can. I mean, Fernandez they just got, so you can't get rid of him. And he's actually I think he crashed out the last round, but he was doing well before he crashed out, and he finished fifth a couple of sixth or fifth a couple of times.
I mean, they feel like they're picking on him, but I think he's doing well for his first time around in MotoGP. Russell Fernandez, I feel like he's a good rider. I mean, he deserves to be in MotoGP,
right?
But it's just like a sports talk when you compare a player to someone else, and you're just like, how are you just gonna do that?
Yeah, no,
this dude's in Moto2.
Yeah.
I'm already here. Like, you think he's just gonna come in and just make much better difference?
Listen, I think if I was KTM, I'd be like, yo, we're gonna keep you here another year, and if you want to jump to Yamaha, go ahead. If you want to jump to Honda, go ahead.
Exactly, that's how it should be. There's a lot of talent out there, and people who've won Moto2, Moto3, when they get to MotoGP, they're not always right up front, right off, the back. So.
Yeah. Look how long it took for Brad Bender, and Brad Bender was hot in Moto2. And the same thing, for Zarco and these guys, and so and I felt bad when they got rid of Ika Ono. I felt bad when they got rid of Lowles and went back down to you know what I'm saying, like, so it's and same thing with even Remy Gardner.
Remy Gardner.
Yeah. It's just like come on, you know what I'm saying. So just because you jump up is great, and I don't want to pick on other sports, but you see it in basketball and football all the time. That they talk these people up and put them up so far up, but it's just like. If you stayed in Moto2 another year, great, because honestly, like, what happens when the next hot talent comes out and you have a bad year? You know what I'm saying? Like, that could happen to you too.
It's like a safe haven for your career, basically.
Yeah, you
so move up to MotoGP, like, if you don't show out, like, you're racing, you might be shuffled around somewhere else.
And don't get me wrong, dude, you're a fast rider, but you haven't won a Moto2 title. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, Pecco won a Moto2 title. Brad won a Moto2 title. Inea won a Moto2 title. Alex won a Moto2 title. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Bezzecchi didn't. Did Marini did? I don't remember. I'm gonna check, but you know what I'm saying. But you know what I'm saying, like Rins and Mir and these guys. You know what I'm saying, they
got championships on their belt.
So yeah, he won Moto3 title for sure. But like win a Moto2 title. You know what I'm saying? You win that title and then see what happens. But again, it's gonna be tough because. He's a
standout.
Yeah, I'm a fan of his.
Yeah, me too.
I'm a fan. Don't get me wrong, but like, there's so much that. It's not like where you're in college and you go into the NBA or NFL, right? You're like you're already in the league. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like it's tricky. And he wants to see, but
it's crazy. There's so much going on in MotoGP right now. Like they should He should be on pause. Like, what do you mean you talk about you don't want to go back to Moto2? Like, hold on. We got to fix all this MotoGP stuff. Like, we don't even have enough bikes. Like, a lot of people ain't moving around. Like, you're saying you don't want to go back to Moto2. Like, hold on. So, and I don't know.
Yeah, because it's like, hey, listen, like I said, I'm not. Are you gonna go to Yamaha or are you gonna go to Honda?
Do they have that option to say what they want to do? Like NBA players. Like
well. So it's. I think there's an option because I think KTM has them for another year. I think, and so. Oh no!
He can already say in advance, like I don't want to be in Moto2 anymore. I'm going to MotoGP.
No. It's only 2-year contract. So for KTM would have to bring him to. I don't say have to, but they might have something that they get first option or something like that. So to sign him.
But what if nobody in MotoGP really wants him this year, and he's saying that?
Oh, like they want him because of his name factor.
Yeah, I mean,
but are you going to be happy on a bike? Are you gonna, you know what I'm saying? Like, are you gonna be on a winning bike, or are you just gonna be in MotoGP?
Yeah, that's
that's what it comes down to. And when you got two manufacturers struggling, and Oliveira is a good rider, You know what I'm
I
saying?
can't wait till
Aleix,
he gets consistent. Like,
yeah. You know,
I know he can. It's
I don't,
just
you know, Maverick. I mean, he had bike issues, so I like he's had bike issues more than his own. He crashed out the last round, but he had bike issues. So I'm not gonna pick on Maverick, but Maverick definitely need to win more. So
he said Aleix.
He
rode with the broken wing. And
the
whole race.
So it's like this guy did this with this. Like you can't get rid of this guy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Well, he said he's done. He's I think he's done after this year. Is it
at 35? He's retiring. He's
is it-
33.
Okay.
Or maybe just hit 34.
Okay.
I say he got at least 1 year left.
Yeah. Because I know he signed for 24 too. So, so at the end of 20, I thought said he was done at the end of 24, but that's the end of 24.
Yeah.
So for 20, for the beginning of next season,
You're not just gonna cut him short.
there's a few riders. Like I said, Maverick. You know, okay, maybe a Maverick. Would you get rid of Raul Fernandez? But this is his first year on the Aprilia. Oliveira, if he didn't get hurt twice, you know what I'm saying? So it's like those riders, like you could get rid of them, but you know, those are really good riders. You know what I'm saying?
I hate that side of the business.
Yeah, and you know, so you know, Fernandez is his first year on a bike, and Oliveira. And you know, I think Fernandez crashed out, but I think he was in top 11, top 12 of this weekend before he crashed out or something like that. In the same last round, I think he was doing well. So, you know, so for him to say that, there are a lot of really good riders in MotoGP. So I don't know, bro. We'll see. I think he's gonna be stuck with Honda or Yamaha unless KTM adds a second team. Third team.
We got 5 weeks off, so no riding for MotoGP. I'm sure there's gonna be some news. News talk. We got to talk about something. So.
Well, you know, it's we've taken a lot of time with just that. But what about Fabio taking out Zarco and Fabio, and now you got Morbidelli. I think is Morbidelli in front of him. As far as the standings,
it's crazy because Fabio ran very well in the sprint.
Yeah,
and then it's unfortunate in the race he got injured, and I mean, you kind of see it. We're 7 races in. And we got like I said, the extra sprint this year and the actual race on Sunday. Like everyone's going extra hard. It's just predicted that there's gonna be a lot more fatigue riders, injuries, and we see it right now. Like Marc Marquez riding broken rib, Fabio is getting surgery. Rins is out with broken leg. Pole's out. There's a couple other riders that had injured, but
so I'm rooting for Morbidelli, but Yamaha. He, like I said, he crashed out early in the main race.
I think he would have finished well if he didn't, because that track I think is suited for that bike.
Fabio.
Yeah.
No, I think in the race, if he didn't
was
crash
pushing
out
extremely hard.
Yeah.
I'm sure he used more energy than the other riders, just to stay up front. But wish he finished in the sprint. I mean, in the actual race on Sunday.
All right.
GP race.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens at the
What's the point standings look like? You got them up.
Point standings is pretty good. Ducati. No, sir.
The funny thing is, I saw online Jack Miller was sitting at the bar.
Yeah.
And it was just like everyone around him just had like Ducati face on him. And that's how he felt when he finished the race.
Oh, listen, man.
He was surrounded by Ducatis.
Listen,
we seen it coming.
Pecco's up by 30-something points. Jorge Martin is in second place, up by 1 point from Bezzecchi. I think Bezzecchi's he's gonna come back. Brad Bender is in fourth. Zarco fifth place. Marini's sixth. You know what I'm saying? So it's like there's one KTM in between the top 6 riders right now, and then another KTM, and then Aprilia, and then Yamaha is in ninth place, and then Ducati, and then Yamaha again. So
Before this race, it was a little tighter. But, it's going to jump around sprints and stuff. So
I think so. But so, what do you think about the sprints overall, and incorporating that into,
I actually love it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I know it's so much more on the riders, and I'm sure they gotta do much more. And for saying that, like Fabio broke his foot running or something like that.
or hurt his ankle. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they have to just do that much more to stay in shape throughout the whole year. But
Right.
I can tell you, when Friday comes and the practice comes, I'll be so ready for Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing that there's a race and then Sunday's a race.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so already in tune with
exactly
both days. Like, I love it.
Yeah, no, I think so, and I think for the folks in the stadiums, it gives them a treat on Saturday, and not just Sunday. Because like I said, I've only watched 3 MotoGP races in person, and the practices on the Saturday is the qualifying was the most exciting thing. And
they're going to do their fastest time.
So that was the most exciting thing on a Saturday. Now you get to actually see a race.
You get to see qualifying and a race.
Yeah. So, I was thinking it was kind of weird with World Superbike at first because I really started watching MotoGP first, and I started watching World Superbike. I was like, they got 2 races?
Yeah,
What's going on here?
They get the sprint,
and now they got the Super Pole and stuff like that. But it it's entertaining too. You know what I'm saying? It's not just about, the racing. It is also entertaining the fans and keeping people engaged and stuff like that, which is great for them because more people, more money. You know what I'm saying?
You want to see more races than just the main ones. So.
Yeah.
I mean, you get the MotoGP, the Moto2, the Moto3, and depending on the track, I'm not sure the schedule of the Moto E, but they got a shorter season.
Yeah.
You might be able to catch them too.
Yeah, Moto E is crazy.
But to have them racing on Saturday, that was a great decision for this year for sure to keep the sport alive.
Yeah.
Especially losing the manufacturer. Oh my God! If it was just Sunday and Suzuki was out, like I don't know.
That'd be one thing. It's interesting. So I'm looking forward to it. Man, I think we're running out of time. I don't know if you want to chop it up about Moto America a little bit, or we'll save that for the next episode.
We can say that for the next episode. Been watching Moto America, keeping up with the the main riders, and shout out to Josh Herron, PJ Jacobson, just meeting them and watching them. Josh Hayes and all of them coming to Loudon. But I do want to give a shout out to the Neymar whole crew, the officials, for putting on a good weekend, to making us comfortable. Like you said, I feel blessed being at Loudon with the family orientated,
environment.
The environment, and having multiple showers and soap to wash your hands and all that good stuff. And just knowing the stress that they went through with the rain, switching races around for the local riders,
right,
and also to accommodate the professionals, and keeping us all happy, and them keeping their stake up high. But
nice. No, we're looking for the 101 running.
And there's a couple of people that did see me and shouted out the show, so I appreciate everyone tuning in and watching. It's
for sure. Yeah, definitely. Shout out to everyone that's showing us love on the show when they see us and stuff like that. We appreciate it. Keep subscribing, keep liking, keep telling people about us. It's only going to get better. Shout out to all the sponsors, GoPro, Motul, who am I missing? Engine Ice, and
Vortex, Hindle,
Woodcraft, Hindle Exhaust, Armor Body. You know what I mean? And again, don't forget to like and subscribe. My name is Rexyfortyfive.
My name is TJ.
Peace.
What's up?